What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Power After Hours, your favorite power podcast. I'm Jeff on this side, Chrissy's on the other side, and we are here to recap Power, Book 3, Raising Kanan, Season 1, Episode 7, Stay in Your Lane. I was going to say stand and deliver. It's definitely not stand.
No, I thought you were going to say stand your ground. I was like, I don't think we're there,
no,
but
definitely not there. Stay in your lane. What's going on, Chrissy? How are you?
what's good, man? Good. It's a holiday weekend.
Right.
Actually took the day off, which is rare for me. How about you?
I'm good. You know, celebrating birthday. My mom celebrated birthday, so another one going strong.
Your mom and my brother had the same birthday. I always forget that. Yeah.
So shout out to Phil on his birthday. You know, shout out to my mom. So definitely that. But yeah, it's good to link up with another episode, another dope episode of Raising Kanan. What's going on to everybody in the chat? Salute to everybody joining us today. Peace, and blessings, everybody, all our regulars. I see y'all in there heavy. Shout out to everybody watching this on demand. Definitely get your comments popping. Get active because we answer these after 2. And those of you listening on the podcast, love to you too. Day ones, subscribe to the podcast feed. And you could also subscribe on YouTube, Power After Hours, and wherever you listen to podcasts. So yeah, we're definitely going to dive into another fire episode. Oof. Another real fire episode of Power. Before that, you know, as we're on here live on Monday, we got the devastating news that we lost Michael K. Williams today. Wire alum, Lovecraft Country, Boardwalk Empire, theater, all of that. Like 54 years old, way too damn young. So, want to send love to everybody in the chat, shouting him out to real down to earth brother, good brother, like seeing him at the junkets and all of that, just regular. And if you were from New York, you saw him around. He was like real regular with it, where he was partying, chilling, dropping gems, all of that, like real good dude who going through things just like we were going through things. And it's sad to see him go.
Yeah, heartbreaking. I saw it pop up and I was like, no, not Omar. Because, you know, like for me, like his name, like when you see his face, he's like forever Omar for me. Even though, you know, he was amazing in Boardwalk Empire as well. It's one of my favorite shows. But it's just really sad, given, you know, you and I were talking about this before we started, but given the episode that we had last night, it's really sad that we had this happen today. Praying for his family. I'm really just sad about it. I hate that, you know, I just hate drugs. Hate them. Hate them.
I feel you. And it's, you know, it's a shame. It's a real shame. And I saw somebody tweeted earlier, and I definitely agree. This is like, I would love to see the generation that helped build a lot of what we had here actually grow old, receive their flowers, and live longer lives. Losing people way too young, and this is just somebody, another icon, another pillar who's now an ancestor, you know. And it's just, I'm still like, damn. Like, I'm just like, damn. Like, the whole time I was just like, damn. Like, dumbfounded in shock. It's like seeing the notification come through, and it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And, you know, think about Wendell Pierce on Twitter left a phenomenal message eulogizing Michael K. and was talking real talk, right? And I think about his family, think about the loved ones, his real ones, the people in his life, and I think about people like his acting peoples and people that he came up with. Like, I think about someone like Michael B. Jordan, who you know, he lost Chadwick and then lost this dude like within the span of a year and change. And it was like 2 mentors, right? Like, it's a loss that's gonna reverberate through our community, and it just feels like the hits just keep on coming, right? And it's just ill. You even said it. The episode that we're doing today kind of underscores a lot of the stuff that's been going on. It's like a tragic art imitating life type situation. But you know, we gon' and shout out to Darian Scott. What's up, Darian? All I want for black entertainers is for them to be able to grow old. Roy Woods Jr. Yeah, for real, man. Like, at this point, I want all of us to grow old, but especially them. Like, just make it. It's
What a day.
it's really crazy, but wanted to shout out Michael K. Williams, New York legend, acting legend, one of the pillars in this thing of ours, and just shout out his family, and I hope he rests well. So we wanted to do that, and then get right back to it with Power After Hours with Raising Kanan. So show him some love, show Michael K. Williams some love in the chat. Y'all do y'all thing, and I see all the love for him already, and remember his name. So having said that, it's no segue into that. I'm just gonna go. So tell me, Chrissy, what did you think about this episode?
Oh my God, the fact that I caught myself crying at the end, your judgment in your eyes, I saw it.
No, it wasn't judgment. I was just
I saw a little roll, but okay. I definitely was. I shed a little tear. I was sad. It was so well written, and I think that's what I love about it the most. We've seen Jukebox sing through death so many times on this show already, and it's just really sad that it had to happen like this last night. I had a feeling it was coming, but I just didn't want it to happen. I didn't want it to happen for Juke. So with the way they've been doing character development and not letting it linger on, like we knew what happened in the beginning of the episode, and the fact that they didn't make us wait like 3 episodes to see what happened with it, like it literally happened at the end. And I'm really proud of the writers of this show. They're doing a great job. What did you think?
Yeah. This is just another episode where I think they're doing the thing. It's just really entertaining. I'm having fun. I'm having a lot of fun watching it. I'm having a lot of fun following what's going on. A lot of plots to figure out, and it's a little scary, right? It's like just like with a lot of different seasons of Power. The closer we come to the end, the more impactful things that are happening, and the more bodies that are piling up, and so many different storylines intersecting into one. So first, Rock is ready to set this thing off. She's ready.
Sounds
to
like she's the only one.
This war. Right. Yeah. The only way she can is to tell Lulu. We call another Reggie Jackson. We call it another Reggie Jackson on what a Uniques man that doesn't really go off. So it's one of those rare times where Lulu misses, right? So
Lulu pulled a Marvin.
Right, and that actually has Marvin and Rock kind of questioning a little bit.
Yeah.
What are you here for?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you here for? Like, is your mind completely in the game? Like, how did you let that happen? Because clearly, once that happened, you knew these dudes was gonna put 2 and 2 together and start looking for cats.
Like, not only that, like, if you gonna shoot, don't miss. Like, and what got me was when, who called him Quincy Jones? Was it Marvin that said that last night? I died inside. I was laughing so hard. There were so many one-liners in last night's episode, but I couldn't believe that Lulu missed. Like, we've seen him be, Rock's right-hand man. That was a mistake that I would expect Marvin to make. I never thought it would be Lulu, and it could be that his head is not in the game anymore. He had an amazing showcase. He's had, great moments, but it's like, bruh, how do you miss that shot? He was not even looking at you. He didn't even have time. It's not like he had a piece on him. Like he was giving his girls, so it's like, come on, bruh, how you miss? How you miss?
Yeah.
I didn't want to be all vulgar with y'all tonight, but y'all know what he was doing.
Right. And he got caught in one of the most compromising positions and lived to tell the tale. That man was hauling ass down the street. Like he literally saw his own life flash before his eyes.
He can run now.
Yeah, he was gone. I'm surprised Lou didn't hop in and try to go after him.
That's another thing. Yeah. How did you not go after him? You saw the window was open. Why not go out the window, chase him down? But bruh, just mistake after mistake. I was disappointed.
He blamed it on the Uzi, but at the same time, it's like I felt like you kind of saw he may or may not have really wanted to do it.
Yeah, that could have been
hesitation.
It too.
Where it's like you want to do it, but something in you is throwing you off. And plus, why did you bring an Uzi when you could have had your regular gun? And I think Rock kind of alluded to that too.
She
like
did.
that kind of was peculiar. You know what I mean? A little.
Yeah, what are
little
you
peculiar.
doing?
Like, what's
Like,
really good with you?
and it's not like he let, like, okay, maybe it was the gun, but you let off shots before because it looked like it jammed at one point. So you let off shots. How do you miss? Like, you were literally right in front of old dude. There is no reason to miss that shot. Like, come on. And you know that's Unique's right hand man. So if you gonna shoot, you best not miss.
Yeah. 100%. Shout out to good brother Mars. He says Warrell was running like Forrest Gump. Yo, that man.
He was.
Listen, you face
Usain Bolt.
certain dangers. You gonna be Usain Bolt in his prime. All right.
Woo, buddy was gone.
Shout out to Doreen Scott. Lulu has been messing up lately. He should have took Marvin. I wonder how
Marvin
that
probably would have
would've
coughed
worked
or
out.
some shit and blew the whole spot up. Marvin is reckless too. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't even trust Marvin in that situation. I'm not gonna lie. That probably would have been it where he tripped. You know what I mean? And alerted the dude that somebody was behind him. I feel like Marvin would have done something even dumber, you know, but it wouldn't have been like shoot and miss. I feel like Marvin would have definitely got that shot off. So I'm just disappointed in Lulu. Like, you really that into your music game that you've fallen off on what you're supposed to be doing?
Right.
Come on, bro.
Shout out to CJ. Say he didn't get closer to not get all his blood on him, but when he missed, I dotted side with confusion. Yeah, he was kind of getting close. Like, I didn't understand. Like, were you confused? Was he confused about it? I wasn't really sure. What up, Michelle? Fuddy out dude was able to get his gun, jump out the window, and run down the street. He left old girl there. She didn't even hide in the bed. Oh my God, Fuddy. Yeah.
Did she survive?
Yeah, she survived, but I think that's the last time she gonna see homeboy.
Oh, I wouldn't be with him ever again in life. Not, or at least make sure the door locked. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
do something different.
And as this war continues to escalate, Lulu once again has a meeting with Unique, an unintended, spontaneous meeting where they roll up in what Lulu calls the demilitarized zone, the DMZ, which is the diner. So he's saying like this is like neutral ground. It's like hallowed. If this was like Highlander, this would be like hallowed ground where you can't have a quickening on the ground. So he said, there's supposed to be no bloodshed. Y'all already know the vibes. This is what the rule. And Unique wants to talk to him, where Unique is more or less offering Lulu the opportunity to join his crew before things get real nasty for him.
I mean, I knew Lulu wasn't going to do it. So it's like, there's only, for me, Lulu did mess up. Rock has her moments, but let's be clear, he's not going to flip on his sister. You're never going to see him do that. So I love the way he handled it. I can't remember the one-liner, and I know I tweeted it out last night of what he said to him about why he wouldn't work with him. But I know that I was in tears laughing at that part as well. I just love Lulu's character, but I feel like at what point is he going to say something to Rock about that meeting, right? Because something has to get said.
Yeah, when he speaks about that meeting, he's going to also Loki have to talk about his meeting with Unique when he asked for peace at the showcase. So he's going to have to let everything go out. And I think what he said, he said, it ain't about his sister. He said he don't want to work with no bitch ass niggas.
No bitch ass niggas. Yeah, I said, you know what? Yeah.
And then he pointed to his hallway and said, that pussy eater over here. And he was like, oh, that was you. And he started to pull out. So he didn't even, at first, you thought they rolled up because they knew it was Lulu, but it wasn't. He legit wanted Lulu on the team, apparently. But for me, if I'm Lulu, I don't know. Because if I'm Lulu, I'm looking at what you did to Scrap. And I'm like, do you want me close so that you can off me or do something real bad to me to gain an advantage on Rock? And real talk, what does Lulu gain from joining Unique Squad?
Nothing.
He already has the production side hustle. You gonna join this crew, this rival crew of your blood? What, for betting on the winning horse? Like, I don't know.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really all it comes down to, is the fact that Unique thinks he's going to win the war. So he's like, listen, I'll save your life. Come work with me. And I'm sure what he would task him with is actually killing his sister. And I know Lulu not going to do that.
Right. Shout out to Jamal Scott. I'll say this for Unique. He hasn't really done anything out of the way first. He just be retaliating. And I co-sign that because, Kanan killed Buck 20. or D-Wiz, whoever we want to say whose bullet hit first, right?
Yep.
They killed Buck 20. They were vying for corners, and they had already made a truce. So they were straight until that murder. And that's really what escalated everything.
That's true.
And so I don't think Unique is as much of a quote-unquote bad guy here as much as he's fighting for his territory. You know what I'm saying?
As he should. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how he survives. The same way they eat, that's how he eats. So I'm not mad at him for retaliating. I don't really look at him as somebody who is like, he's not like, from Power, the really bad, the Russian dude. I don't look at him as a really bad, like, I'm going to just kill you to kill you. Like, you really got to do him wrong for him to make a move. So he's just playing chess. And right now, technically, he's winning.
Yeah, it's a fact. Shout out to everybody in the chat feeling bad for Scrappy. Lost a kidney, lost the eye.
Told y'all he lost that eye. I told you.
He gonna be all right, though. He gonna be all right. He know the game is the game. But damn, he got worked.
Yeah, he got work. But I love the way Rock described it to Kanan, though. She was like, he's battle tested. He's from the streets. He gonna be all right. You know what I mean? Like, so you over here, don't worry about him. He gonna be fine. But yeah, but I still think Rock put him in that situation. They've not really addressed it where she said, yeah, I put him in there underground to get the info for us. But I'm pretty sure that's what happened. But maybe at some point they'll release that info. I don't know.
Yeah,
Milan.
Shout out to
that's what I'm talking about.
Shout out to CJ. Yeah, Milan. Yeah, it's Milan who was playing the undercover security guard, right?
Yeah, Milan was the devil, dog. Oof.
Yeah. Shout out to Michelle. Unique outlining all of Rock's current troubles. No supply, losing corners, soldiers looking for other crews, but Lulu was unfazed. Great exchange between the two. I think there's a mutual respect because Unique is probably like a lot of drug dealers when they get to a certain level thinking about your exit strategy. Yeah. Consider oil companies, Exxon, Shell, all these companies. At some point, they're thinking about an exit strategy because that type of gas isn't going to be an unlimited, abundant, plentiful resource forever. They may pivot into green energy. They may pivot into something else. But at some point, you have to have an exit strategy and another plan for you to be making the money that you're making. So Unique can see that Lulu has that skill of mediation and he's about the business first and is willing to talk to a rival in order to get the job done. So he probably sees that and he's like, yo, if all this shit shakes out, we kill the family, we do X, Y, Z, sooner or later, like when things get settled, I could probably still work with this dude. He could probably put whatever he has aside and still work with him, right? So I could see that olive branch being extended, but for me, I don't know if I'm Lulu that I'm trusting that motherfucker.
Yeah, no, there's no way. I would never trust somebody like Unique. Like, yeah, he may be the only one that's retaliating, but I still wouldn't trust him. He is a snake, and he'll do whatever it takes to get his way. And people like that, you gotta be leery of him. So I don't blame Lulu for the way he reacted in that moment.
Yeah, facts. Power After Hours, your favorite power podcast. Subscribe on YouTube, everywhere that you get podcasts. Yo, shout out to everybody who's been subscribing and passing the message.
Yeah,
we at like over 750 strong on the site. More of the Power family finding us and being able to link up with us and all you wild, unruly, live people in the chat that keep this going and keep this show as interesting because it's the show about you and about us as the Power fam. Yep. Definitely hit us with all the likes, comments if you're watching this in the replay. Hit us up. You already know the vibes.
Yeah.
Let's talk about my man Symphony doing what he got to do to get his boo back. I want to hear what y'all Symphony agenda folks think in the chat that y'all all think this man is still underhanded. Say, Chrissy, what did you think about the double date with Kanan and Davina and Symphony and Rob?
First off,
so amazing.
Kanan is the shit, okay? You know what I mean? Like, he knows in order for his mom to stay out his business, he got to keep her linked up with somebody too. You know what I mean? So I that was a smart move. And I saw people saying last night, like, yo, he's singing Hall & Oates. Ain't no way he's a Fed. Come on, y'all. Like, how many, like, cops, sit there eating donuts, listening to Hall & Oates? That ain't nothing. He's still a Fed. Like, I feel like you have to be a Fed to listen to Hall & Oates. It's just normal. Like,
what?
He
So you
is
called
a
our
Fed.
parents feds. You calling all the people in the 70s and whatnot feds. Like if you was black,
When
you was the
when you
host.
singing it like
You are
that
an
to
agent
get
of
a
the state?
woman back that you know you need, yeah, he needs her. He needs her. Come on now, and he's starting to want to take control more. Come on, bro. Something ain't right. Something
Listen,
ain't right.
I'm gonna take Brother Symphony at what I see for him. First of all,
Symphony J.
no,
Blige. Who
no.
said that?
Symphony J. Blige had to get that old thing back. Illis Rican, I'm over you right now. I'm about to
That's
start
a good
blocking
one.
y'all from the chat. Y'all are hilarious. But yo, I'm gonna take it. I love the whole. First, shout out to everybody who's from New York. Y'all remember Tavern on the Green? I believe it's still around, but that's like early 90s, 2000s. You went in the city and you was getting like wanted to eat out nice, like go to a nice restaurant, whatever. Tavern on the Green
That's
was
where you
that
went?
deal. So
Oh,
they was out there. They were Tavern on the Green was that deal though. So you also saw all the looks that Rock and Kanan was getting walking through the spot. All the white people was like, they're letting
who
them
are
in
they?
now. Oh
Why
my
are
God.
they here? Oh my
We're
God.
gonna have to go to-
What's
we're
sad
gonna
is
have to
that
go to
ain't
Soho.
changed. That
Right.
ain't changed.
Right. So that definitely hasn't changed. But they go in. Kanan's introducing Rock to Davina for the first time, and he has a surprise for Rock. They all go out. Rock is already loving Davina. They sit down, and Kanan springs Symphony as that surprise. And at first, Rock ain't feeling it, but then, my man had to come in, and I thought it was funny. Hey, he's dropping secrets to her about his favorite bands and what he likes growing up, and saying, and he admits it. Yo, I came in between you and your son. I'm not gonna do that again. And he had to get into his slick talk bag, but he was spitting his truth to her. And I think there was a part where Rock didn't really want to cut him off, but was sticking to a principle. But once he was 100 with her, it wasn't that hard to like wear her down, but she just had to make sure that he knew, don't cross that line no matter
Right.
what. Even if you're looking out in the best interest, loop me in or you out of here.
Yeah, and that's bottom line. I feel like any good mom is that way with her kids, especially like single moms. Like you just don't come in between. You the man. That's cool and all, but it's me. It's been me and my son for the longest, and you're not about to come ruffle some feathers up. So I love the way she handled it. I still think she did the right thing. He had to know that he couldn't cross that line anymore. But I did love how he got her back. Spilling this secret about loving Hall & Oates and then singing on top of that. And she was like, yeah, that part you could have kept a secret. Like you don't need to be singing to nobody. It don't sound good. But I'm glad they're back together because you get to see more vulnerability with Rock when she's with him. Like you get to see her more down to earth. She's not as aggressive. And I like seeing that side of her. I feel like everyone, no matter if you a drug dealer or not, everybody deserves to have a little happiness. And I feel like she's getting that with Symphony, so I'm happy for her.
Okay, let's see what the chat is saying. Shout out Tyrone. Rock's cold-hearted self wasn't interested in forgiving Symphony for getting between her and her son, but she eventually gives in. Soft side showing. Shout out Rainey. She says they closed and revamped and renamed Tavern on the Green. I know where the area is, but I don't remember. I haven't been there in ages, but I know that there is still a restaurant there. So there, shout out for that. What's up, Keish Ange? I don't think Rock is a big enough drug dealer for a Fed to be clocking her. Maybe she was like Dean or the Colombian Connect. I think the Colombian Connect is, if you're talking about this show, I think it's a Dominican because he's like uptown. Maybe they're Colombian, maybe they're Dominican. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with that. I don't know why the Feds would be clocking her.
Y'all know I gotta stick with the Fed line. Now that I've started it, I can't give in and be like, he's not no Fed. No, I'm riding it to the end. Unless he dies a good guy, they bury him, and it's like, oh, he was such a good guy, and it never comes out. Until then, I have to ride with the fact that Symphony's a Fed. I started it, and I gotta keep going with it, guys. Okay?
Hey, ride with the lie until the wheel falls off.
I didn't say it was a lie, though.
Shout out to Sam White. Kanan looking up to Symphony with the hand grab at the table. Yeah, I already saw him. He was picking up the little moves. Symphony talking that talk. He grabbing Davina's hand. Like, yo, you can see the synergy between the two. They was getting it popping. Oh, yeah. Here comes what's up?
Rock know.
Let's get Jamal. Rock and Love said she would stop selling drugs and have his babies. Yeah, that's when I knew it was real.
Did.
When she was asking him about the family, and he was like, "Yo, who would you do that with?" He's like, "The right woman." He's like, "Well, what if it was
about me?" Yeah.
So she, like I said, planning the exit strategy, right?
Which you always, I feel like you always have to be. I feel like that was the issue with Tommy in Regular Power, was that Tommy didn't want an exit strategy. Tommy just wanted to sell drugs and get the money and live his best life. Like, whereas Ghost was trying to work on his exit strategy. So I'm all for Rock having one. I just hope that it's not a visible vulnerability to where people see it and they use it against her.
Facts. What's up, Greenfly09? What's up? To Chrissy's point, how can Symphony afford the restaurant? Isn't he a student and he is never at the bar bartending anymore? I got one word for you, credit. Like, there's a lot of people that go out to eat at places that can't afford them, but they still eat there anyway. You pay it today, you charge it today, you pay it tomorrow. Not endorsing it, just saying there are ways. Zachary South. What's up, Zach? Knowing the strong-willed woman Rock is, Symphony set out to even the power dynamic between them by reassuring Rock that she doesn't always have to be in control.
Which I loved. Ooh! Woo! And listen, I am a woman who worked in sports for 8-9 years. So I'm always very I'm very forthcoming. Like, I'm very blunt. That's just who I am, aggressive, assertive, whatever. So I don't like to always have to be in charge when I am outside of work. So I love that he took her down and was like, yo, I'm running this shit today. Okay? Listen, I was with that scene. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, and I also, I like the little things with writing and shows. Mm-hmm. So when they were leaving and Symphony sees the Dakota and says, oh, well, there's the Dakota. And then Kate is like, oh, here come him teaching story time. Like, here come the lesson again. Because I feel like we're all like, oh, he about to tell a lesson. Go. So Kanan is kind of like speaking as the crowd, like, oh, here this motherfucker go ahead, classes, tell us what you're gonna tell. And then he tells an interesting story about it, which is, like John Lennon was murdered out there, and the whole thing being what Davina and Rock connected about that spot. White folks, rich white folks up here getting killed, just like in Southside. Nowhere is safe. Nowhere is safe. And that was like the connection. So while, yes, Symphony going to tell you about New York architecture, there's going to be a story that connects both sides, right? What's up, Miss Coffee? Davina made sure she got a free meal before bringing up Famous in the $1.20 line.
Right, though? Like,
what did you think about that when they rolled up to Davina's house and she was asking Kanan about them lyrics?
Come on, like, anybody with a brain could pick up on Famous's lyrics. Like, anybody who was in that crew, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, he clearly called out what happened. And for them to just be saying, oh, well, it's just him making stuff up. Famous like to talk stuff like, come on, bro. Like, there's only so much that you can say to the point where she's gonna, that was still her dude. Like, yeah, she's with Kanan now, but that was her guy, and they murdered him. So a part of her, I think a real part of her knows that Kanan was involved, but she's kind of not sure enough to where she wants to completely get rid of him. So I feel like she's sticking around just to get the information that she needs. But I know once Rock finds out that she's the one who sold that house out, it's going to be a real problem. She's already killed D-Wiz. So don't think she's not gonna kill Davina.
Yeah, and Kanan had to go press out Famous too, for what he said in the lyrics, because they never had that conversation ever since the showcase when they made eye contact, and Kanan is hearing those lyrics and like, yo, you talking about what I did, and they have that conversation, and Famous uses the whole angle where he says, yo, you could tell them that I'm making stuff up. This is art. We taking this, we taking that, and he's like, yo. Basically, if you want to tell stories, tell your stories, but don't tell my stories.
Exactly.
And pawn them off as yours, because Davina heard, and if she heard, other people are going to hear, put two and two together. And it's not like it's a hard, difficult, mysterious case to solve. You Kanan's man, you was D-Wiz's man, you talking that talk. So, was you involved? Yeah. And was all of y'all involved? So he had to kind of press him out like that. So we're going to see if in his future music, depending on how far he makes it, is he going to take that advice, or is he going to be one of these people like a host of other artists who don't live what they rap? You know?
And I love that he said that too. Like we all know Famous ain't shit. He got scared and didn't want to even be a part of it. So it's just like, come on, bro. You out here rapping about a life you don't live. Use somebody else's shit. Watch the news. Read the newspaper. But don't bring my shit into your raps, okay?
Shout out to good brother Mars. Eazy-E was a bad example for Famous to use.
Bad.
Yeah, you use
Bad.
anybody from NWA talking about you think they rap what they lyric, and then this was like at the ground
height.
level of gangster rap.
Yeah.
So when you claim that, it's like, yo, and you being from New York, you talking about them crazy Cali dudes? All right, that was the wrong for sure. That was the wrong example, and Famous gotta keep it low because he's making it hot for Kanan and everybody else, and we know that Kanan doesn't need any help making shit hot because he already did that with him and Marvin in this scheme with the crack off the Van Wyck. They had a good thing going. One of Marvin's mans had a plan to cut that coke with something else with that new I forgot the name. If y'all know it in the chat, drop in the name of what they were calling.
It's the blue cap.
The blue clap. It was Blue Moon or something like that. I want to say, but what they had called it from what he got from Brooklyn, because the whole argument was them dudes did not want to follow Kanan to step on it even more or to lace the coke with anything. Yeah. But Kanan kind of pulled rank for who he was and who his son was, and it was his idea. I think them dudes were stupid to even listen to Kanan. I would have still hit Marvin or waited for Marvin and been like, yo, you could be mad all you want. I ain't moving unless Marvin wanted to move. But they let Kanan get in the lab and cut that coke, and it paid dire consequences for the people around him.
It was bad. And I knew when that guy took the first hit, I was like, oh, is he dead? And then the other guy was like, ooh, it's like that. And I'm like, you want to die too? And so I was like, wait a minute, everybody dying? So yeah, I was, golly. I just, for the life of me, Kanan learned how to cook one time from his mom. One time.
He swear he me watching YouTube.
Like, bro, what? like, what is this on YouTube? I mean, they didn't even have that back then. So, bro, you learn how to cook from your mama one time, and you think you can just do it like that?
Right.
And they dumb. They were smart in the beginning. They were like, you think I'm about to listen to you? You a teenager. Shut the fuck up. But then you actually let him punk you, and you let him cook. And not only did you let him cook, you sold it. Like, I can see if you let him cook and then you go to Marvin like, yo, Kanan, this is what Kanan did. Like, we're running low. But no, y'all didn't even do that. And then you send out feelers to the white folk too.
Yeah.
They
let it out. They put it out in the community first. Like, they sent out the samples just to see how it was going to hit. So that was one thing, right? Shout out to everybody in the chat. Cinda Williams, aka Mo Better Blues. That's what it was called. Mo Better Blues. I definitely don't.
But didn't he say? He said y'all better not have brought that to the Van Wyck. And the dude said we put a few feelers out there.
Right.
So
that's what we saw. I don't know if they sold it. They were handing it off because that's what they usually did. First one is free, you get hooked, and then you come back, and then you have to pay for everything else.
Well, they're not coming back.
They're not coming back because they was killing people off. And when Marvin eventually found out, he was saying like, "Yo, we have to burn this all down because if Rock finds out,
everybody did.
It's us. Everybody's going, and it's nuts because for everything Kanan does to try to get ahead in this game, he makes stupid move after stupid move that costs him. Like that Van Wyck move was one of the smartest things they were doing. And you could see they were even doing it on the low because Lulu had told in that meeting earlier when he was the errant trigger man where he couldn't hit any type of target. He was like, yo, I heard Unique's people are moving stuff out in the Van Wyck. And Marv was like, well, I ain't hear that. Because it was you, motherfucker.
That's why you don't hear nothing. You would think Kanan was Marvin's son. That's how many dumbass decisions this nigga be making. Every episode he do something dumb. It's like, what? It's just sad. You want him to do the right thing. And then he just makes it. He's a kid, though. That's the other thing we have to remember is that Kanan is still a kid. So his decisions make sense when you're thinking about like a 15, 16-year-old boy.
Shout out to Roz. Kanan is the kind of bad decisions for the love of God he just learned last week. Like, yeah, he is definitely the bad decision king. And not to mention, them goons were stupid as hell for letting him pull
Absolutely.
rank. Yo, Michelle's stupid. I see why the show is called Raising Kanan. Raising him is exhausted. Yo, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. I don't understand. I don't understand what they're doing. Jamal says he should stick to spaghetti instead of cooking crack. Yeah, I feel you on that, man. It's
accuracy.
Not only did this hurt their operation, but as we saw in one of the saddest parts of this whole show, this eventually hurt Jukebox and Nicole. Because they roll up, Kanan passes her one of the vials as Howard rolls up to kind of press him out once again about the whole, yo, you ask your mama who I am? You ask your mama who I am? We go way back. It's like, nigga, just come out and say it. Like, why don't you come out and say something? Like, you keep leaving the context clues. This ain't Blue's Clues, dog.
Just say it. Just say it. And then he's yellow as hell. They making him every week. He looks worse and worse. I mean, I know he's dying, but goddamn, it's like they put like
jaundice.
Oh my God, he was so yellow last night. At one point, I was like, "Is it by TV? Like, what the fuck?" I have to remind myself that he's dying, but that they're doing a good job of like time lapse in terms of like he does have a short lifespan at this point, so it does make sense that he's looking more frail as you know time goes on.
Yeah, for real. And then Jukebox stashes it on her, links up with Nicole. They're talking about the prom and the dance or whatever have you. And then remember the last week we were talking about it. She got introduced to, at least from our eyes, smoking lace blunts from Crown, and now she sees the blue top in Juke's bag and takes that, not even saying nothing. Like, to me, I was just like, well, what the hell, And they're talking. She wants her to come to the ball with her, and they're really happy. And this is a point where Juke is really giving it up, right? Like Juke is calling Nicole her girlfriend. She stopped boosting. Like, she did everything to go basically for the most part on the straight and narrow so that they can link up. And then we see what happens towards the end. What did you think about that scene with Nicole in her room?
Heartbreaking. It broke me. It was just sad on many levels for me in my own personal life, like knowing people who have passed in that way. So to see that on screen and knowing how happy that Juke was, like, she literally did everything right, and that was the sad thing about one part that did get me is she showed you how to lock that door when she wanted to do them drugs, but she didn't know how to lock the door when y'all was making out on that bed.
Experience points.
Like, they made sure to zoom in on the door lock. And I was like, bitch, you ain't know how to lock the door 2 weeks ago? But yeah, okay. So I'm really sad about it for Juke because we know that there was something that was a turning point for her. I feel like this might be it. If what happened with her mother was as bad as they've kind of preluded to, didn't make her completely rebel, this has to be something for her. She literally was in love with this girl, called her, her girlfriend, made a tape for her, made a song for her to listen to as she was getting ready, which is so old school, by the way. Like, how many of us did that? Hit the record, the 2 buttons on our little boombox to record some shit.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, I was really just sad for Juke in that moment because we all knew what was about to happen. The moment she smoked it, I knew it was her end because nobody has survived on that drug thus far. It would be dumb if she would be the one that did survive. So I was just really sad in that moment. I was sad that her mom was egging her on in a way, but didn't even know that's what it was. You don't know. She clearly didn't know her daughter was on drugs. She didn't know her daughter was a lesbian or she was in denial. So, when she keeps pressing her about making her go to this dance with this boy, not knowing that that type of pressure is anxiety for her daughter, which then leads her to do the drugs. So it was just a sad, sad scene. That whole 5 minutes broke me to hear Jukebox singing to her as she did when, D Wiz died. We've heard her sing through death in this show. So I knew it was coming. It just was really sad. I broke down a little bit. I had a few tears. How about you? What did you think about it?
Chrissy tears are back like.
Hey, I forgot about those. I love to cry.
Tears are back. She do love. If it's one thing Chrissy gonna do,
I'm gonna cry.
She gonna cry. I shout out to Miss Coffee. She said it was beautifully It was beautifully filmed though, and I thought it
Was.
was good. Like when she's playing the music and she's locking the door. I marvel at the audacity to be smoking crack with your parents downstairs. That's
Goddamn.
different.
That's
different. Different type of privilege, boy. That she was like, I'm like, yo, they don't know what burnt crack smells like, or burnt drugs or anything like that.
The
Like,
dad is so.
she ain't give a fuck. Oh, the dad was
so-
oblivious as hell.
He finds out everything last. The
Super
dad
late.
never knew shit. So he always comes in the room like, what's going on? What did I miss? Nigga, you missed the whole spiel. You don't know nothing. So yeah, damn, I just feel so bad for Nicole. She didn't have to go like that.
Yeah, that was a sad ending for her. Like, you know, it's and just as things was coming around, even for Jukebox, like I love the presence Rock has in her life.
Yeah.
Where, you know, she sees her in the suit and she's asking like, where you going? Like, who you going to see? And she tells her it's Nicole and like, yo, I ain't your dad. Like, if you happy, I'm happy. And I think those connections are good, but this might be the thing that sends her down on a spiral. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shout out to Deshanship. What's up? Deshansip, excuse me. This was so freaking sad. No, Nicole. I think this is where Juke will start to change. Can't wait for the next episode. Let's see what else he's saying. What up, Rocky? Their love story climax in this episode. We see the two lovebirds make their union official and take risks by going to the Gold School dance together against her mother's wishes. I do agree. Deshansip, that this might be where she starts to make her change. I feel like there might be a few more breaking points, but this might be the call. And what I also loved about the scene was how Juke went and was waiting outside of the school and seeing every limo pull up and doesn't see
sad.
her. So in her mind, she probably thinks she got stood up, not
Yeah.
knowing, of course, until next episode that Nicole passed away in her room. So then, you know, the next question is,
Right.
is she going to find out that she died
took
from
it.
an overdose from that vial that she took?
Yep.
Because then that's going to put her at complete odds with Kanan.
I think Kanan is gonna know when he finds out how Nicole died. I feel like Kanan may know. The question is, does he tell Juke? Does he tell Juke, or does Juke find out a different way? Because their relationship is so close, I would expect for Kanan, one, to know that clearly that was his drug that did it. But do you confess to Juke that, yo, I'm the one that cooked that? I essentially killed your girl. Well, not really, because at the end of the day, she still chose to do the drugs, so she has a hand in it. But you know, the question is, what does he tell Juke? How honest is he with her about it?
Mm-hmm. Sam White says, "Wait till the funeral. White Nick's mom is gonna spaz on Juke." Oh yeah, I'm not looking forward to that.
She's gonna think
go
that she
nuts.
introduced her to the drugs.
Right.
Yeah.
She's gonna be like, "You killed my baby," blah blah blah.
Yep.
If they have any interaction at all. Mr. Polo Lifestyle, what's up? I wish my Walkman sometimes.
Yeah.
Not when that tape used to pop. That tape used to skip. I'll tell you, the skipping Discman is probably the one struggle that I had the most. Where I used to be so pissed. Imagine you getting into a song and then it just skip, or you hit a
Skip.
bump and it skip.
Goddamn.
It'd be so
One
sick.
little scratch is the end of any disc you ever had. Just one. All it took was one scratch in the wrong spot, and it's a wrap.
Listen, God bless the invention of the smartphone. Trust me,
For
even
real.
the iPod. Shit.
Thank you,
Erica
Steve Jobs.
Ransom, what's up? Maybe that's why Kanan connected with Tariq. Both are ridiculous and make deadly mistakes. What I will say is, I think Tariq was way more reckless. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Kanan did not see that this decision was going to actually kill people. You had adults in the room that was just like, all right, nigga, do what you do.
Yeah.
And then that happened. So I think you know, some of his decisions, like, yeah, the killing homeboy, that was Buck 20, that was a rash decision. She was trying to defend his mom, whatever. But some
Yeah.
of Tariq's stuff was just damn near reckless. Like,
Just because he was
reckless-
mad for no
Right.
reason too. Just mad.
No calculation. But yeah, I mean, they're both teenagers doing stupid stuff. So I maybe he saw some of that in him. So
I think
don't
he
know.
did. I think he did. I think the whole thing with the, you know, how smart they are, and, you know, the high school, what's going on. Like, you know, I feel like there's so many similarities with Kanan and Tariq, just in their upcoming, like with the mom, the conversations he has with his mom. I feel like they're very similar, and that's what drew Kanan to him. He wanted Tariq to do better.
Word. Let us know all your comments in the chat. Get all your comments out as we begin to wrap this thing up. If you're watching on the replay, drop your comments too. We hitting you all back up. This is Power After Hours, your favorite power podcast. Subscribe on YouTube. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Pass that on. Yo, this episode, man, like I really appreciated a lot of the things that was going on and what they're going to set up. First off, like what's going to happen with Unique and this war. It seems like that war is going to escalate even further, and they're going to bring this war to Rock's door. Who else is going to drop at the end of this season? Like where are we going to go? There's so many different things. There's so many different ways it can go, and I just like being along for the ride every week and just watching it slowly get better and better and better, and always keep in contact. I'm also keeping my eye on the Rock Detective Howard storyline because, every time she hears about him, she's like, stay away from him. He's this, he's that. But as I saw somebody in the chat say, they want to know what he did, what exactly he did to really piss her off. Did he get DEF CON locked up? Did he rape her? Did he like abuse her? Did he do these type of things? Like these are the type of questions, or
There's
maybe it's something completely different, right? So those are the questions that we have to ask, and I'm interested to see if they're gonna really get to it before. And I feel like they have to, but
they definitely have to.
How they get there.
Yeah, I'm interested in a lot of the storylines too. Like I want to know more. Obviously, how it's going to end up with Juke not having Nicole. You know what I mean? Is Kanan going to be honest and tell the truth? I still don't know. I know a lot of people were saying he's dumb enough to tell the truth, but I don't know. That's a real big truth to tell. That's hard. And then also Symphony. You know what I mean? Like I feel like if you want to come after Rock at this point, you got to go after the person who she actually really cares for. So it's got to be either Kanan or it's got to be Symphony. Mm-hmm. So I think that's going to not end well at some point either. She can't be happy forever. You know what I mean? So, and I definitely think the storyline with Howard is going to go deeper because I feel like Kanan is now starting to ask questions. You could see in his face when she got so angry that he was like, yo, why are you so upset? Like, what is it? What's triggering you with it? So I wouldn't be surprised if Kanan starts asking questions.
Facts. Shout out Good Brother Mars. That scene where Rock and Juliana was excellent. You could feel Juliana's self-esteem rising to the screen. That is one thing. Thank you. Shout out to the chat. We go over so much. We might miss the little things that turn over the big things. Rock meeting her cousin, the Connect, and them having the conversation as to why they trusted in one another. And really Juliana saying like, yo, you a woman, you a strong woman. You know how men treat us. I have that faith in you. And that was affirmed by her cousin, who said, I don't like her choice in men, but her intuition's A1. And she linked me up with you when they were at the underground fight club, boxing club. So it looks like Rock and her cousin are and Juliana's cousin are making that build to where she may finally have a supplier, a new connect to push her product in Southside.
Can't wait for that, bruh, because I know Juliana, I agree. She's definitely starting to get some confidence, which is something we haven't seen. And I love that Rock at the end told her, like, let me know what I can do to help you. I think that husband's time is numbered. Like, it's only a matter of time because we know he's putting his hands on her. And I love that her cousin even said, like, she has terrible choice in men, but her intuition is usually spot on. So for her to even refer Rock to him lets him know that she's a good person and willing, that he should work with. So I look forward to seeing what that relationship ends up becoming. Because obviously he didn't give her the yes, but he didn't give her a no. So I feel like that's going to be her new connect. The question is, like, at what point does she get to actually be fruitful from that connect? Because right now she's about to be in a whole lot war with Unique. So is there going to be a ceasefire at some point?
Yeah, he's even said it's a competitive market, but he wants to he wants to keep the conversation going. And shout out to Mars. Yeah, Lulu was cheesing when dude was like, yo, I like that song. He was like, I was at the showcase. And he was him rapping Streets Need a Body in a with a Dominican accent had me screaming.
Streets
yo.
need a body. I was like, okay.
Street need a body. Street need a body. Yo,
and Lulu was like, crazy. Yeah.
He's like, that's me. That's me. You know what I'm saying? That's my artist. That's my
But you can't shoot though. But you can't shoot.
He can't shoot, but he can pay. He could pay for good, proper recordings, right?
You could have paid somebody to shoot old dude because you sure couldn't execute that either.
Oh, man.
So disappointed in you, Lulu.
Chrissy killing him right now.
I'm disappointed.
I feel you. Let's see. What's up, Ratchet Studios? How hot-headed Kanan don't get mad at the way Howard addresses his mom. Yeah, he do be talking crazy, but at the same time, I think when you're dealing with cops, you try to kind of tuck. You kind of try to tuck that a little bit.
Yep.
And he kind of looks at him like a clown. So he's just like, yo, whatever you know about your mom, maybe you trying to get info out of me, whatever. That's how I take it. So, yeah. But I think at some point he's going to keep pressing buttons and Kanan going to react. What up, Roz? Okay, I have a question, Jeff. Were you allowed to roam around the city alone or with friends without accountability? My mom had to know where I was, and I was raised primarily in the South. So I think this was a little different for boys than girls, at least in my time. Like, it also was a different world, right? So for me, I want to say definitely by like 4th, 5th grade, which I would call middle school, I guess, until like first year in junior high. Well, no,
that's elementary still. That's still elementary.
Like 6 to 8 is junior high, right? Or is it 7, 8?
Yeah, it's 6.
6 to 8, right? Mm-hmm. So like definitely by 6th grade. Definitely by 6th grade and probably a little bit before, I walked to school and home by myself. I knew my route. It was probably like a 15, 20-minute walk to school every day. I had my route. I would walk the main streets and then go to my school. I had that route every day. And then in junior high, I would walk home with my friends. So that's just what it was for me. And I was like, when I think back about it, I was like 11, 12 o'clock and 11, 12 o'clock. I was 11, 12 years old. And yeah, I was outside of when the sun, I had like werewolf rules on me. When the sun comes down, like by the time the moon comes up, I got to be in the crib. That's really what it was.
I feel like boys had more leniency.
Right.
But we walked to school. Like when we lived in Michigan, like my sister and I, we walked to school every day. Like that was never, like even in the snow, you didn't. But when we got down to the South, that's when they had buses. So that's when it started picking us up. I didn't have as much freedom. My brother, on the other hand, that bro could do anything. My mom never said a peep. He literally could have been Kanan. My mom wouldn't have said shit. Okay, but let me do some stuff like that, bruh. You gotta be home before the street lights go off.
Word. Yeah, shout out to everybody in saying the street light. Yeah, street light rules were in effect.
Oh, yeah.
They were for sure in effect. If the street light were on and you weren't at least in the neighborhood, like around the corner, chilling with your, like where they knew you supposed to be outside, but I know inside, but I know where you are, it was a problem. And shout out to everybody calling Lulu Puff Daddy. Y'all are stupid, yo.
They right.
Y'all are he gonna be dancing in the videos, right? Yeah, y'all are crazy.
If that's the case, well, Famous may not have a long career then.
Sam says Rock wants things to move smooth. She's like one of the guys you can see her frustration when the connect walked off. Yeah, because she needs that ASAP.
She needs it.
She needs it ASAP. Like and he wants to be courted, or at least wants to ensure that what he's making is the right decision. She ain't trying to hear that because streets need the product.
Streets
Fuck
need
a body,
the
she
product.
need the product.
They got plenty of bodies off Kanan shit. I know that.
Right, 100%. So yeah, okay. I think that's it. If we missed anything before we get out of here, throw it in the chat. But I think this is it. I think we're gonna get out of here, ready for the next episode. What you looking forward to, Chrissy?
I just seeing how Juke deals with the death of Nicole. Like I think that's going to be really what I'm looking for in the next episode. And also to see what's Rock's move. Like, now that they are pretty much in this war, what is her next move? Because Lulu didn't execute the move. So now you really need a second plan for his fuck up. So I'm looking forward to seeing what she comes up with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to see this war pop off because it sounds like Unique is fed up and he's ready. He's ready to make his move. He was even saying like in a month or two, y'all might be on the wrong side. So I want to see what the wrong side looks like and how they handle it.
Yep.
But I think it's ill to see how Kanan is coming up and what's eventually going to become of him. So.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it from us. Labor Day edition, Power After Hours, going over episode 7 of Raising Kanan. If you're here for the first time listening or watching, thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Definitely subscribe so that you can get all the latest info from us. I saw a couple of people in the chat saying that they didn't get any notifications. If you click on the bell next to our name, next to the Power After Hours name, that's how you turn the notifications on. If you click that bell to have the notification, it's still not going on. Hit YouTube up because it's not. We don't have that.
It's not us.
It should be. There should be stuff coming up. I don't know how it works. Should work the same with the YouTube app on your phones. You should be able to get a drop down.
Yeah, it is.
Too.
Just push that bell though.
So like,
typically. It will go on. I see my guy Slim is in here. What is up, my guy? I've known him for like decades at this point. Good to see you on here. He's been a big supporter of us from the very beginning. Listened when we were not even doing live. So I don't even think he was watching Power. He's just listening to support me. So I appreciate you for joining us tonight.
Slim, what's good, Slim? Thank you for joining Power After Hours. Miss Coffee, it's 10 episodes. So we have about 3 episodes left. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking they're probably just gonna run them through the end of the month. Taking a quick look at IMDb now, episode 10 is slated for September 19th, which doesn't make sense because this is episode 7 and the 19th is 2 weeks away. So I would say by the 26th. Like every Sunday in the month is going to be an episode of Raising Kanan. So we should be done like before October or at worst the first week of October. Because I don't think there's any way they're going to take a whole thing off or whatever the case is going on. So, shout out to us. And as always, for y'all in the chat, we love y'all. Thank you for keeping the chat popping. Thank you for listening. For those from podcasts, our day one podcast people, those who subscribed either yesterday, today, or you've been subscribed, thank you for being here with us. Definitely share this with all your friends who watch Power because we're the best. We're the best Power podcast.
We are, Kelly.
We have a lot of fun and we interact with the people. That's what it's about. So share that with us so it can keep growing and keep bringing this Power party to the people. So that does it for us. Join us next week when we talk about episode 8, and we'll talk to you later. Be safe out there.
Peace, guys.